You don't actually need more time. That's just a story you keep telling yourself because it's easier than facing what comes next. And deep down, you can feel it. Because the thing you keep pushing away isn't new. It's been there for a while, sitting quietly in the background of your mind. It shows up when things get still, when you're alone, when there's nothing left to distract you. It doesn't need more planning. It doesn't need a perfect setup. It just needs a moment of honesty. But honesty is uncomfortable because once you admit you're ready enough, you lose the safety of delay. And delay feels safe. It gives you space to breathe without pressure. It lets you believe you're still in control, that nothing is slipping away, but something is. Every time you say later, something subtle happens. You don't just move the task, you move your relationship with it. It becomes less immediate, less real, less important. Not because it actually is, but because you've trained your mind to treat it that way. And the more you repeat that pattern, the easier it becomes to keep repeating it, until one day you're no longer delaying something important. You're just someone who delays. That's how it changes you, quietly, gradually, not in one big moment, but in small decisions that seem harmless at the time. And the hardest part is, it doesn't feel like self-sabotage. It feels reasonable. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right mood, the right energy, the right version of yourself, someone more focused, more disciplined, more certain. But that version of you isn't coming because that version is built through action, not before it. This is the part people avoid seeing. You're not waiting for time to pass. You're waiting for discomfort to disappear, and it won't. Starting will always feel uncertain. There will always be doubt. There will always be a part of you that hesitates, not because you're not ready, but because you care, and caring makes things feel heavier. So you delay, not because you're lazy, but because you don't want to face the weight of what this could mean. Because once you begin, it becomes real. Now it can succeed, but it can also fail. Now it can move forward, but it can also expose where you're not as strong as you thought. And that's what delay protects you from. It protects your image of yourself. As long as you haven't started, you can still believe in a perfect outcome. You can imagine the version of you who does it effortlessly, who gets it right, who doesn't struggle. But reality doesn't cost anything. Reality asks for effort, for patience, for showing up when it's inconvenient. And that's where most people pause and quietly step back. Not because they can't move forward, but because moving forward asks them to let go of the illusion. So they wait, they scroll, they think about it, they plan again. They promise themselves tomorrow. And tomorrow feels safe because it never arrives as a moment you have to act in. It always stays just far enough away. But something shifts when you stop looking at delay as time management and start seeing it as avoidance. Because then the question changes. It's no longer, when will I start? It becomes, what am I trying not to feel? And that answer is usually quieter than you expect. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of wasting effort, fear of proving your own doubts right. So you protect yourself by doing nothing. And it works for a while until doing nothing starts to feel heavier than trying, until the weight of inaction becomes louder than the fear of failure. That's the turning point. Not when you feel confident, but when you feel tired of your own excuses. That moment doesn't come with energy. It comes with clarity, a quiet realization that waiting isn't helping you anymore. That nothing outside you is going to change this. No perfect day, no sudden motivation, no version of you that wakes up different. Just this moment. And a choice. Not a big, dramatic one. Just a small interruption in the pattern. You start before you feel ready. You move before you feel certain. You act while doubt is still there. And something subtle happens. The thing you built up in your mind loses some of its weight. Not because it became easier, but because you finally touched it. You stepped into it, and that changes everything. Because clarity doesn't come from thinking. It comes from movement, from doing something real, even if it's imperfect, even if it's messy, even if it's small, especially if it's small. Because small actions don't demand confidence, they create it. They remind you that progress isn't about intensity, it's about direction. And direction only exists when you move. So if something has been sitting in your mind, waiting, don't ask when you'll feel ready. That question will keep you stuck. Ask yourself something simpler. What can I do right now, even if it's not perfect? And then do just that. Because the truth is, you don't run out of time all at once. you lose it in pieces, in quiet moments where you choose comfort over movement, where you choose delay over decision. And those moments add up until one day you look back and realize you weren't waiting for the right time. You were slowly letting it pass. So the next time you catch yourself saying later, pause for a second and listen closely, because it might not be time you're asking for. It might be permission to stay where you are. And if you're honest, you don't need more time. You just need to stop agreeing with the lie.